In today's video, we're going to go over my thoughts on 0.4 so far. And if you're not into constructive criticism, I suggest you turn it off now. But if you can handle it and you can maybe think the big picture, stay tuned. We'll see you at the end of the video. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mighty Moth here, back with another video. So, as I promised, I'm a little late to the party. I got to maps a few days ago. I'm roughly like right on the cusp, like 89, 90 or something like that. So we've done a little bit of the end game. Um, my first impression was not good, but they were quick to put in a fix to some of the more urgent problems. But I feel like the loot in the end game from the encounters for the Fate of the Val mechanic got worse. Like I got a dream fragments early on, I got Orb of Chance early on, and now from the chests I get like mana flasks and 3 piles of gold. But the main issue was you could never really do anything with the actual dungeon because every time you would get to the architect and you would kill the architect on your next attempt you would
I can't
show
fucking
up
re-enter the
to something like
goddamn
this.
temple.
You're like, oh, okay.
Oh my god. Oh
Oh,
my god, it destabilized
well,
all my
fuck me,
rooms, dude.
right?
I just lost.
So luckily they cut that in half, so you only lose half as many rooms, so that was a good change. Now the loot is still not good. I can only surmise that the changes are going to be coming often with urgency, at least after Christmas break and all that. There's going to be a lot of changes coming because it's just not good. And the league, to me, just isn't fun to play. The bear form feels really clunky. We tried to make shouts work by socketing in the shouts into ferocious roar, and you have to stand still to do every animation with the bear. You
What?
cannot move while shouting like you can with the warbringer, like originally, and that's frustrating.
Bro,
So you have
what
stuff
the
like that
fuck?
happens, and it's just really overall a just a clunky way to play the game. Now, as I'm talking, there's going to be some clips rolling in the background, and you can just see exactly how many bugged interactions and crazy pathings that have happened just
I just
in the short
bounced
amount of time I've played.
my
We
way to
actually
getting
switched
stuff.
back to a shield wall
Not this way though.
Warcry Warbringer because this shit just was not working. You have to like feather
Bro, look
your
at that
shouts,
teleport.
otherwise you're just stagnant and you're just getting hit by any projectiles in big density. Now, what I will say is the damage for Corrupting Cry feels good because it's applying 2 stacks simultaneously. Now, what I noticed is the Corrupted Cry in
What the
Ferocious
fuck is
Roar
going on with my body's
is saying
animation?
that it's half the damage of the Corrupted Cry in the Socketed War Cry. Now, even if you take Seismic Cry out of Ferocious Roar, it is still
I
marginally more
I gotta
damage
say.
than the Corrupted Cry socketed only in Ferocious Roar, which to me is weird. Like, why
What the
is the
fuck was
damage
that?
less? Because it's just a matter of 25%
Okay.
of your strength
He's literally still
with your
attacking me.
damage
He
multipliers
didn't drop
equals
any items.
damage over time
Okay, now
base
no,
DPS.
he didn't disappear.
So why it's a difference from
I'm
like
still fighting him.
400 and 720, I don't know.
Nope.
Like that's a
Nope, he's
huge
not.
difference. But anyways, the damage did feel pretty
No.
good early on, so it wasn't terrible to level with, but it did take substantially
Stunned.
longer for
He's
me to get
stunned
through
right
the
now. The
campaign just
skeleton of
because of
Zalora.
how many times we
Oh my, what
died
is this?
and
This
all
is a
those
new
types of
unique
things.
ring.
So I would really
Oh my
like to
god,
see
it's a
some
fucking
improvements
dream
in that
fragments.
front.
What the
Honestly,
fuck?
have been tempted to just stop playing the game numerous times while playing in bear form. It feels clunky. It feels bad. I know Wyvern is having like a pretty decent time when it comes to bossing and dealing good damage. And there are some druid like plant builds that are really good, and there's some wolf builds that are really good. But it just to me the main issue is the talisman. When you have a talisman equipped, you can't use any other skills. So every other weapon set, if I have a mace in my hand, right, and I'm attacking, I can cast a spell with this mace equipped. I can shout with a spear, a mace, a scepter, unarmed, a wand, a crossbow, a bow, just a quiver, whatever. It doesn't matter what you have equipped. You can use every shout in the game, every spell in the game, but if you have a talisman equipped, you cannot use any human form ability with a talisman equipped. Which is like, why? What, like, and when you sock it in your shouts, you can't move while using them. So not only do you you gain the rage of ferocious cry, and you don't get to break the armor. You also inherit the the only downside that comes with it is that you're standing up on your hind legs so that you can gain the all of your rage and then slam down so it makes the animation like less lengthy for your next slam skill. But if you're not using slam skills and you're only using the shouts, you cannot move while doing it. You're just stuck in one stagnant position, and it just makes it really, really squishy because not only do you not have the block chance because you can't use a shield with it, even if you take Giant's Blood, though the talisman is a martial weapon and you melee people with it, you cannot use a shield or any other thing. You can't use a focus, you can't use a shield, you can use a scepter if you take the keystone passive. I just don't understand why. It I get that the druid gets a percent armor buff, but the 8% damage reduction and the 50% block chance on a shield is a gigantic boost to your survivability. I have never felt squishier with more armor early in the game than I felt playing a Warbringer in bear form. And now, not only that, but I chose the Warbringer because it sets your block chance to 35%, but that doesn't count towards talismans. I originally thought you'd be able to take Giant's Blood and use a shield, but you couldn't. So then I said, okay, well, maybe it'll work with the block chance talisman, and that would make the Warbringer pretty valuable in a form of like defensive layers. But no, it's only for shields. So that was a bummer. So my main takeaway from this patch is build diversity for that item is gone. You have from level 1 to the last possible like skill sets to choose from. As a bear, you have like 4 abilities. You have the first slam you get, you have ferocious roar, you have this like volcano stomp thing, and you have rampage, and then you get your ultimate. So all all encompassing things for bear form, you have 5 abilities. From the start of campaign to the end game, you have 5 skills to choose from in bear form. Because you literally cannot use any other skills in bear form, but 5 of them. That feels bad. Same thing with wolf form. It's basically like you're a cold build. You can't mix and match the other things. This is just what you're going to be doing. Wyvern, same way. Although I do think that there's a couple. I felt like there was like one more skill for Wyvern, maybe. I could be wrong. But either way, you wanted to focus on build diversity and balance changes, but it just feels so one dimensional. Like the talisman just to me is a miss. The Jade talisman has a whole bunch of damage, but it feels like a miss. It's clunky. It doesn't feel good to play. It's super squishy. It can't interact with any other things. For me, that's an L. We waited this long for Druid and the things that came with Druid, and for me, it's an L. It's just that's just what it is. Now, I do like that they take the time to consider the feedback and try to make these changes as quickly as they can. And they're doing the best they can in their circumstances with only being able to hire people from New Zealand. And they have a very small dev team and they're doing as much work as they possibly can. But this felt incredibly half baked for something that has been in limbo for like a year. Like we've been waiting on Druid this whole time and it just feels so half baked. Like the ascendancies, while e- exciting at first, they're not really like that neat. Like the Oracle has some really cool nodes that you can take, and the Shaman, if you're trying to do a rage stacking build, is super cool. But they seem, even though it would appear to be like, oh wow, you can do all these things, even with all those things, the thing that makes Druid is shapeshifting, and the shapeshifting is very lackluster. While it looks cool as fuck to be a gigantic bear and you're like standing toe to toe with the bosses and you're the same height as them, and you got the wyvern fucking flying, burninating like Trogdor, and the wolf feels really fast and pouncing, highly mobile, and you have summons and stuff like that. But why is it the only abilities you can use with talisman are talisman skills and summoning abilities? That's it, not spells. You can't even use spell totem. You can use shockwave totem, but you can't use spell totem. What fucking sense does that make? It's a totem. It's a totem. One scales off your weapon damage, the other scales off the fucking spell that's socketed into it. So, what are we doing here? Like, why can't I use that one, but I can use this one? I don't know. It, it's frustrating. I would really like to have more positive things to say than they're really trying. But honestly, that's about all I can come up with. Is I admire their gusto, their dedication to the craft, but it's just a no for me, dog. Like you're not going to Hollywood. Crafting is overall worse. Bases are outrageously priced because you have to spam good bases with exalts in order to get like a 4 or 5 modded item that have the right mods. Like you can guarantee about 3 of them if you have enough currency, maybe even the fourth one but you won't get like a high T roll, right? On the fourth, fifth, and sixth. You have perfect essences you can use and things of that nature, but you're never gonna the only way you get like, oh my god, you just random exalt slam and fucking pray. Like just pray to Arn Jesus that it hits. So crafting is overall worse. Bases are outrageously priced for an item that you can only use with like 15 skills in the game, which makes no sense. And it's just not fun. It's not. Like the temple is absolutely mid. It takes too long to set up. It takes too long to interact with. It the rewards aren't good enough. Like I I really wish I had positive things to say. I do. I wish I did. Now, that being said, of course, we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep trying. We're going to eventually do something new. The campaign for me was such a slog with the bear that I don't want to do it again. Like, I'm literally like, one character is enough for this league. I'll just play Warbringer. I know I will eventually make another character, But it took me like almost 30 hours trying to use solely shouts to get through the campaign because you're just a sitting duck standing still. And I had like 140 life regen per second the entire time. And it's like you just can't out heal the damage because you're taking 100% of the damage all the time because you can't block. You can't really invest into evasion because you need intelligence and strength to use your skills and your gear. So like you can't really go the evasion route right away. It just feels, I don't know. It's like just half baked. Like it's got good bones, but it's still incredibly buggy. The animations are buggy. You get stuck in places. The crashes were constant early on, and it made it very frustrating to play. The FPS drop has gotten a little bit better. I have been able to play in parties, but drops are, I mean, I'm running like 70% rarity or higher from the start all the way to almost level 90, and I think we've dropped 2 divine. And we have like 60 hours in, like 60 or 70 hours of gameplay, and we have 2 div and 3 logbooks. I run expeditions every map. Every map I run expeditions, I've gotten 3 logbooks, and I've done, I don't know, 60 maps. So not a it just hasn't been fun for me. My RNG has been terrible other than the dream fragment I got, and it just has been terrible. But we're going to hop on live after this. We're going to continue the grind. That being said, you already know what it is. You are enough. Stay blessed. And as always, stay mouthy. And don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe. I always like interacting with y'all. Peace.